570 WKBN, 330-729-9977. We'll get you through to us on News Radio 570 WKBN. Let's go to the law firm of Beatrice Kopp tonight. Let's see if Mr. Reliable, that's what I call attorney Mark DeVecchio, is joining us tonight as always. And he's the best family law lawyer around. Mark, are you with us tonight?
I am here, Ron, present, accounted for, and ready to drop some knowledge on anybody that wants it.
I am always looking for some great knowledge. Attorney DeVecchio, one of the best family law lawyers around. Guy really is just has everything you're looking for, frankly, in a lawyer in general, but also when it comes to family laws, it's just he's just a one of a kind. He's truly unique and one of a kind with his approach, folks. And it's always good to have you with us, Mark. Mark, not that you couldn't do the program by yourself, because to me, you're an army of one. You're an extremely knowledgeable individual, but is anyone else going to join us?
Guess what? I'm an army of one tonight.
Then you know what I call that, Mark?
What do you call it?
A great show. That's what I call it.
It's a good night. That's right.
It's a good night. For me, Mark, it's almost like a dream come true. It's almost like a dream come true. All right, so let's start by taking some legal questions on News Radio 570 WKBN. You're on the air with attorney Mark DeVecchio. Hello there.
Yes, master. Yes, master. Yes.
There he goes, the nut job. You're on the air with attorney Mark DeVecchio. Hello there. Line 2.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, I have a question about a condo or a condo situation. Can you?
Sure.
The background is this: a condo association. Some units have skylights, and the skylights, windows, and doors are the responsibility of the condo owner.
Let me ask one thing. Just hang on a second. Mark, there's like a speaker in the background. I think it'll confuse our callers if we could silence that a little bit. Or headphones that must be laying close to a microphone or something like that. It just needs a kind of silence that. Okay, I think we might be better. All right. Go. Okay. All right, go ahead, caller. So what do you want to know?
So here's my question. They're wanting to put roofs on, and there's about 110 units. It's really a costly deal. However, they want to now, a homeowner is going to, or a condo owner will have an option of putting new skylights in at their own expense. And if they choose not to, the condo association is wanting to force the owner to sign a contract or an agreement that they will be responsible not only for in the future if there be leakage, but any other damages. And I guess so. In other words, if I were to put in or if I don't put in windows, they're telling me I have to sign an agreement that I become responsible for rafters, any leakage in and around the window itself. And my question really is probably twofold. Number one, can they force us to sign a contract? I mean, or sign an agreement. But we're going to become responsible for something they're technically responsible for, i.e., being the structure around it, and then also, I'm assuming that we're not going to have any choice of who we buy the windows from. Should we replace them other than the plate? We're not going to be able to shop around for our own windows, if that makes sense.
Well, every time I've dealt with a condo association, there has always been a guideline, a condo rule book, so to speak, that you could reference that sets out the responsibilities of the condo owners and the condo association, who's responsible for what and who does what. So the first thing you would have to review is the bylaws of the condo association to find out if they address that in the information that you get when you buy your condo. Secondly, I know that they have condo association meetings. They have meetings usually monthly. So I would attend the meetings. I would make it a point to attend the meeting, and I would bring it up at the meeting. And I would say, I take issue with the fact that we're going to be responsible. I take issue with the fact that we are not going to have a voice in who we choose to replace the windows. I take issue with the fact that, this is kind of being forced down our throat. And if there's a quorum, if there are other condo owners that feel like you do, you could effectuate a change. So, I mean, it starts with attending meetings. It starts with having your voice heard. But before you do any of that, you have to review your condo docs. That's essential to see if it's anywhere within in the four corners of those documents. If they're not, then you go to that meeting armed with some wealth of knowledge saying that, listen, it's not addressed in any documents or contracts that I signed. It's being forced down our throat. And I wonder if anybody else feels this way, because now I take issue with it. And if there's enough people that are like-minded, you could effectuate a change. That could change.
Okay. Okay, that's good advice. I guess the only, our condo association doesn't have, they've got board member meetings, but those aren't open to, the condo owners. Those are closed meetings.
I would say that there has to be transparency. They cannot, as a condo owner, you have a right to attend those meetings always. They cannot close you out from those meetings. So right there, if there's an attempt to do that, that's bad faith. And you could address that and attack that right off the bat, because you are absolutely entitled to attend anything that deals with the condos where you live and you have an ownership interest in one. So when they say it's closed, that's the first correction that they need to make. They aren't closed. They're open to every person that lives in this condo community.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yes.
All right. Well, you give me something to do, and yeah, I'll read the bylaws and or read through them again, and then go from there. I appreciate your help, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right. I got three lines open for Attorney DeVecchio, 330-729-9977, 330-729-9977. Once again, 330-729-9977 will get you through to us, 330-729-9977. If you want to call Attorney DeVecchio tonight for any legal question you might have, he'll be taking your calls till 6 o'clock tonight. Once again, the number is 330-729-9977. You want to pick up the phone, give us a call. Child support, divorce, DUI, custody, estates, evictions, trust, wills, medical malpractice, dog bites, cases, auto accidents, anything that might be affecting you and your family. The time to call is now, and get on board with Attorney DeVecchio tonight till 6 o'clock. 330-729-9977. We take on legal questions till 6 o'clock tonight. Free legal advice for each and every one of you that might have a legal dilemma that's going on in your life right now. All right. So pick up the phone, give us a call, and I'll hook you up with Attorney DeVecchio. And I can tell you this, we're not going to send you a bill. We'll try to point you in the right direction. Hello.
We're not sending a bill?
No. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Your question.
Attorney DeVecchio.
Yes. Go ahead.
Regarding those skylights, we had a condo up at Sandusky, and everybody had a skylight. They're nothing but problems. They leak. They're the best thing you could do is have the roofer close it up, roof over it, and put up a 5-light track light with a rheostat. It'll be the best lighting you ever had. It looks like an art gallery in there, and you can dim it if it's too bright. Or there's 5 lights. You go to Home Depot, they're $108, and it might not be as charming, but it eliminates that whole leak problem. Sometimes it's hard to sell a place with skylights. It's outdated, and you can get better lighting with these track lights. It looks like I said, an art gallery, and really looks beautiful with these track lights. So that would be what I would say.
That sounds like a very practical, pragmatic suggestion, and I hope that the condo individuals are listening to just expound upon that. In Ohio, all condo association meetings are open to all unit owners, though participation may be restricted. However, the board can hold an executive session for specific confidential topics, and the owners are not automatically entitled to participate in the discussions during open meetings. But I don't know that there would be anything confidential about the skylighting or the windows. Ohio laws state that all meetings of the Unit Owners Association must be open to all unit owners. As an owner, you can attend meetings to observe the board's activities and participate in the decision-making process. The board does control the the participation level for non-board members. And you may be asked only to be allowed to speak during a designated time for owner concerns. But I would definitely show up at the meetings, and I would ask for the floor, and I would ask to address a subject that's near and dear to my heart. But you just made a very good practical recommendation, so I hope they're listening.
The leaking around the flashing causes rotting of the trusses and framework over time, mildew, mold, and everything. So it could, when he goes to sell it, it could cause the inspector to flag it and just say a possibility of mildew or something. It's the deep snow that leaks in, even if you have a Pella or Marvin, something high end. Over time, it's not a good practice. You know, it's charming to look at the clouds, but you can get much better lighting like out of these other items I mentioned.
No, I have a skylight, or I had a skylight in my children's bathroom at my family home. And yeah, eventually it started to leak, and I had to invest some money in getting it fixed. So yeah, I know firsthand that those things are sometimes more of a problem than they're worth.
Okay, thanks for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Hello.
Yes, your legal question, please, for Attorney DeVecchio.
I have a legal question about a felony about being expunged.
Okay.
About 40 years ago, plus, I was convicted of a third-degree felony. And I was a young kid. I'm in my 70s now, early 70s. And it kind of haunted me all my life. And what it was a domestic between a neighbor and I. And he got a very good attorney, which was Don Hannard, Sr., and he really scared me. He told me I was going to go to prison. She came to Judge Bernard's court with a brace on her neck and really played the whole thing out. But now that I get up in age and older, I'd like to see if I could get that taken care of, if it's possible to do that.
What were you charged with? Domestic violence?
No, it was an assault. He said I assaulted her because I pushed her out of my front door. She come to cause trouble between my wife and I at the moment, and so he took it way to the extreme. But I was young and I didn't know better. I didn't get an attorney. I thought I beat this, so I hardly did anything to her, but that's not the way it turned out.
Well,
so, in order not to lose my job at General Motors and things, so I was pretty much guilted into saying, okay, I plead guilty. Not that I didn't have the right not to, but at the time I just wasn't knowledgeable about it. I just was afraid. So I was wondering if there's something that I could do for my history. I'd like to have a clean slate when I get my eulogy out there.
Yeah. Well, you certainly there are only that I'm aware of. You can expunge a domestic violence. You can't expunge an OVI. But I think everything else is fair game to expunge. If that's your only criminal conviction, I would ask you to get some kind of a copy.
That's the only thing.
Go ahead.
I've never been in trouble in my whole life. It was just that one thing when I was in my 20s, and it's just something that happened, and I was, So
all right. So what I would recommend.
What would I do?
What I would recommend is get something with your case number on it. I mean, we need to know the court that you were in, the judge you were in front of, the case number you had, the date of the conviction, and we could make application to seal your record. You would be entitled to have your record sealed, particularly since you only have one conviction and it was 40 years ago. To be honest with you, if it hasn't made that much of a difference in 40 years, I don't know that it will make that much of a difference in the next 40 years. However, I understand
it's my morality. It's for me. It's really not for anything other than that. I don't want my kids to think their dad was a felon and stuff like that. And
no, I get it. I mean, as far as
you can look on the internet, you can find anything.
Okay. As far as morality, expunging something, it's not a moral obligation. I mean, if it makes you feel better morally, I get it. I mean, but you were still convicted. You still pled. However, if you're interested in trying to make sure that you clean up your record, that you have a pristine record when you meet your demise, you could file a petition to expunge. You could call the office. We could get it done for you. 330-746-8484. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Just make sure you have the information we require, like the case number, the court you pled into, the judge, and the date approximately of when it happened, and we could take it from there.
Well, I appreciate the information. I just, it's bothered me my whole life, and I've listened to the program, and I know you have legal, and I was going to call last Thursday, and then I just called off. But I'm glad I did, and I think I'll get in touch with you guys and see what we can go about doing.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for your time.
If it's that important to you, you got to get it done. So call us tomorrow or the beginning of next week, and we'll help you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, both of you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
All right.
Ron.
So with Attorney DeVecchio, yes.
We have a new we have a new colleague here on the DS. On the dais.
Yeah, a brand new colleague. Well, let me, of course, introduce the brand new Tally. Tally, welcome. It's good to see you. Is that what you're talking
Go
about?
ahead,
Tally, is
say
Tally
hello.
with us?
Talia Shire.
Doesn't sound like Tally.
That doesn't sound like Tally. You say, is this a young, fresh, new face at the law firm? Doesn't sound like it. It sounds like in a kind of an old familiar face.
No, I still think it's a young, fresh face, Ron.
No, I
when
feel
you're our
bad.
age, they're all young, fresh faces.
I'm sorry.
Trust me, Mark, at my age, at my age, they're all young faces.
That's right.
Hey, DeVecchio, including yours.
God bless you, Ron
So-
Verb. God bless you.
That's right. You know what I mean? Now, Beatrice, that's not necessarily the case. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
He's on the other ones.
But all right. That sounds like, let me identify. I think that's got to be the voice of the one guy that really gets under Beatrice's skin, the best practical joker who comes up with the best ideas. Is that Attorney Melfi?
The pride of Girard, Ohio. Yes, it is indeed, Attorney James
Oh.
Melfi.
That'd be correct, Ron.
You know, he's not with us this week, but I got to give you an eye, Captain. You are brilliant when it comes to getting these pictures with the calendar, then putting that magnet up. Oh,
Because I
brilliant.
just quietly do it. I don't need to get in David's face about it. I ponder.
Right.
I think. I said, what's really.
And you put it up
good?
for him to discover it.
Yeah. Here's the
But
thing.
to put a calendar out with David's worst pictures for every month,
he
and then to
loves
put a
it.
magnet out with
He
another
does love
one
it.
is just the best. You know, my only complaint is there needs to be more copies because I'll hang one here in the studio.
We could get you one.
Yeah.
We could make those arrangements.
I think my wife saved it in her Walgreens account.
Yes, you know, with the worst pictures. Oh, how you doing, James?
The people that developed those pictures, like they had to be laughing, like making that calendar. Could you imagine?
Well, you remember back in the day they had those little photo booths. You're too young. Those little photo mats, and they were like they look like little dog houses
Yeah.
in the parking lots.
They have them at weddings now still.
Well,
'Cause I think we had
I
one.
knew a couple people that worked at those developing films in those places.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say too much, but you'd be amazed at some of the pictures that people would take and give it to someone else to develop, not even thinking whether or not these people are going to actually see these pictures. Let me tell you, the people that developed those pictures saw those pictures, and there are some pictures they could never unsee. Trust me. So,
Really? You
yes.
know, I hope one day, Mark, I hope I can walk into a Walgreens and see Melfi at the photo department. Then I'll go immediately over and say, I got to see it,
If you
Melfi,
see me
before
at
it's
the photo
published.
department, I'll be grinning like a butcher's dog.
There you go. Well, James, I'm glad you joined us.
Oh,
It's
thank you, Ron.
it's a good thing. All right. And now we got to put a picture, James, we got to do another calendar. We got to put one out of Frank Cassis. You know what I mean? So we'll have all the best pictures of Frank.
Did we talk
and
about
all the
our boy
worst
yet?
pictures
You know
of
what?
Dave.
Frank's pretty photogenic. I don't know that you're going to find many bad pictures of Frank Cassis.
I'm not talking. We don't want any bad pictures of Frank.
Okay.
We want a classy, you know, calendar, pretty boy. You know, we put him
There you
on
go.
there, and then you know we put all the best pictures, Melfi, and then we have Dave's. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think
Don't
could
you
sell
think it-
David's, you know, like in here, like the mouse traps and things like that. Like,
Yeah, but imagine though when he
Yeah.
sees Frank's calendar, when he sees the Cassis calendar and how good it is, and how people rave over it versus his.
he might
I
jump.
just think
he
it's
might,
brilliant.
Jump off his boat. That's the case.
Yes. It's just an idea, Melfi. I'm just planting the seed. You understand? Just
Yeah,
think about
I'll
it. That's all I'm
expand on
asking
it.
you to consider.
I think you need
Yeah,
to. I
yeah.
think you need to develop that concept a little bit.
Yeah, I have to think about
The,
it.
the Frank Cassis, every good, great pictures of Frank. Throw in some Italia if you have to, whatever you got to do. And then we put in some pictures, Dave's usual ones where it's all bad pictures. It'll be great.
Those are all the pictures are bad.
Oh,
You ever see the one of him in the suit that the last, maybe it was a trial 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
He looked like Tracy McGrady on Inside the NBA. Like those things haven't been tailored in 30 years. That suit was older than me.
Oh no! He didn't have shoulder pads, did it?
I'd had shoulder pads.
Oh God! Jesus!
I made a side by side of him and Tracy McGrady.
That's funny.
And Ron knows what I'm talking
it's the best, man. It is the best. All right, stay tuned, boys. We'll break for a half hour, and then we'll come back with another segment. Free legal advice. Got two of the best for you. Lines open, 330-729-9977. If you want to get on board, they're here till 6 o'clock tonight. 330- doctors you work for got
settlement.
malpractice settlement. Can they be expunged? Those settlements you're asking? Okay.
Yeah, do they drop off after 20 years?
Well, understand you can't expect that's a civil case.
Yeah.
So there's no, there's always going to be a record in civil cases. They don't drop off. Maybe with your insurance company that pays the claim, you may get some relief years after they pay the claim.
Like 5 years if there's no claims for 5 years.
Right. Your rates are going to go up. And if you have no claims for so many years, they'll probably go back down. But when you say, can we expunge it? Can we seal it? You can't. That's available for you in a criminal conviction because, sometimes if you're not a recidivist and you reform, there's an interest in being able to expunge a criminal record so you could become gainfully employed. You don't have to make these disclosures, but civil decisions or civil judgments that you pay, I don't know how that would affect you down the road unless they're going to vet you as a medical provider and they see that you were involved in malpractice cases and you paid out on malpractice cases, but you can't seal that. At least that's my opinion. Jim, what do you think?
No, that's exactly right.
And that's also to protect the general public.
Yeah, and a lot of
All right.
times, the
Hey, Jimmy, get
shared-
close to that. There you go.
a lot
Better
of
get
times
close to
the
that mic.
information shared, like say if it's sensitive or financial or confidential, there's protective orders in place with the court so that information never hits the public docket.
In the settlement, you mean, of the civil case?
In the settlement or
Yes.
any discovery that's done, but a general complaint and a case number, in a civil case, that's never going to go away.
Okay.
So you may be able to, in the case that you settle, you may be able to negotiate a non-disclosure.
Non-disclosure, non-disparagement.
Right.
Well, let me ask the woman a caller question. So you work for doctors. They did some malpractice settlements. Do you sense that the public finds out about these or reads about them online and it affects their business 20 years later? Is that what you're asking?
Not yet, but they were going to get privileges at another place, and then another place requests, they're part of their application, and it shows up on those things in their application packet, kind of.
Right. It's their history, though. I mean,
And I think the other place has a right to know if there were malpractice allegations and actual awards given or, settlements given, because they don't have to hire them. They don't have to bring them in.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. I tell you guys, and this is probably where you guys and I'll disagree. We might have to arm wrestle over this. In general, folks, I'm against this expungement situation. Your history is your history. These are things that you did in your life, and I think that is just the accountability that employers should have. If you did certain things, they should be made aware of it.
Ron, can I give you an example?
In many cases, they can overlook it if they choose to, but I think it's just a case of information. These are acts that you did. Yes, Mr. Melfi.
Let me give you an example here. So when we apply for the bar, even if it's expunged, we still have to disclose it. But for the run-of-the-mill guy, something happened at 17, 18 years old, now can't get a job. That's why we have this in place.
How prevalent is that? That's a juvenile at 17, and most of that stuff goes away.
17-year-olds that are charged as
adults. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
want to employ some of them anyway.
Right, I get it.
It depends what it is. It is your history. And don't I, as an employer, have a right to know
but Ron,
everything about you?
I'm just going to take issue just to counterpoint, just to take the other side. So I understand that we should be accountable and we're held accountable for our actions. However, when people do change, people do make mistakes. And,
I agree.
Sometimes they don't want a mistake that you may make, especially if you've reformed and that's not you. They don't want it to be held against you and adversely affect you for the rest of your life.
I totally agree.
And like, for example, the one thing I always agree with David, he says the male brain's not developed until 25.
That's true.
And
Ron, just
at 21.
To further expound upon what you said, Ron, there are certain things that are non-expungible anyway. Right. So there are things that you can expunge, and there are things that you can expunge.
OVIs against the or crimes against the family, OVIs.
Yeah, if you're convicted of domestic violence, that's going to follow you around forever. If you have an OVI, that's going to be on your record. So you can't expunge those things. So there is an element of accepting your behavior and having it follow you around in certain cases.
Yeah, the
and listen, don't
steal something from Walmart. I mean, Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not talking about some 12-year-old shoplifting something. I think people understand that when it comes to most of these things as juveniles, although not juveniles that are creating, murder and other type serious violent crimes. That's a whole different story. And I agree with you. People can change, but and employers can overlook things too, or see that the person has changed. It's just a full look at the individual to make a decision and be informed on it. Do you want to rent to that person? Do you want them in your duplex? Do you want them in your company? I mean, you should be able to make that decision, and it should be an informed decision.
When I started my practice, you were not eligible to get anything expunged if you had more than one conviction. The way it started, the expungement statute said that if you have limited convictions, if you have only one conviction, or if you have multiple convictions that stem out of the same set of circumstances, then you could expunge it. But if you have multiple convictions over an extended period of time, you're not eligible for an expungement. Now, they've changed that since then. You now could expunge pretty much anything. Am I right, Jim?
Yeah, there's still some things that are off limits, so to speak, but majority of the offenses that aren't capital offenses or offenses of violence are eligible.
But like back in the day, it had to be, you were allowed one conviction, you could expunge it. Or if in the process of maybe, breaking and entering, you hurt somebody, or there was an assault, or, there was an escape, eluding the police, and it all stems from the same set of circumstances, you could apply to have that expunged as
I'll
well.
give you an example in some of the Florida cases that there's diversion programs. So they'll do a withhold of adjudication, you complete the diversion program. Like if somebody
There's diversion programs here. You plead into it, and if you complete the program, they dismiss the case.
They dismiss and seal it. For example, like in Florida, a fake ID, if you're a minor and you have a fake ID, that's a felony in Florida. But all of these counties,
that's a felony?
That's a felony in Florida.
Well, see, so
if you go to Daytona Beach and you're 19, you have a fake ID, you're getting charged with a felony.
When I was 19, I could have been a convicted felon.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. Listen,
Well,
any
that's
of you
interesting.
kids under 21, I hope you hear that and don't go to Florida with a fake ID. Geo.
I wonder if I could get
I'm talking to my
I wonder
son.
if I could get a fake ID that would show I'm younger than I am. That's what I'm looking for. Can I get one that says I'm 38? That's is there a conviction for that, Melfi? If I go to Florida with my fake
Look at
ID
you
and it
like
says
Benjamin
AIDS?
Buttons.
You know what? I think you're still committing a crime, but I think I would love to see I'd represent you for free just to hear your explanation to the cops.
I need to know that, when people do crimes over and over again, I have a person who regularly gets speeding tickets because, and he doesn't learn from it because he's always in a hurry to get to the Girard court. And he's always belly aching about it, and I don't want to dwell about it. He's an attorney friend of mine.
Are you talking about my wife?
No, I'm not talking about your wife. Just look across the table for a minute.
Yeah.
That's a cheap shot I'm doing for going on DeVecchio. Right, Mark?
That's traffic. That's not criminal. That's traffic.
I know, but it just gave me a chance to bring it up. That's all.
know. Please. Gee, I don't even like to think about it.
It's a reasonable speed.
Yeah. I've never gone that fast.
Yeah.
10 miles over the speed limit.
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Just relax. Okay.
10, huh? You think 10?
I'm late.
Okay.
5 minutes late. I got to do what I got to do.
You
My
got to get
hair's
to
on
court.
fire.
Absolutely. Let's take some more calls with Attorney Melfi, Attorney DeVecchio, and let's go here. You're on the air.
Hello.
Yes. What's your question, please, for our attorneys?
I have 2 German Shepherd dogs. I live way back. My driveway is like 1,400 foot long, and my dogs are contained on my property with electric fence. I had somebody come into my yard the other day, get out of their car. My shepherds were going nuts. If they would have been bitten, would I have been held responsible?
And it depends on who the person was. Well, if it was a trespasser,
Oh,
if it was someone that wasn't invited onto your property or wasn't like a utility service provider or a meter reader or a police officer.
It was a religious organization
License,
came
yeah.
to
Yeah, they're
They're
Try and
licensee. Here's
convert
the
me or
thing.
something.
In Ohio, there's no one bite rule. It's strict liability. So you could say, yeah, I have an invisible fence. They break the invisible fence. They're not trespassing. You're liable. With two German Shepherds,
But they
I tell
are
you to have a lot of
trespassing, and my
homeowners
dogs-
insurance.
My dogs didn't go after them. They got out of their van, walked up into my yard where my dogs are contained. And I just wonder if I put a no trespassing sign up, will that protect me?
You have a better argument.
Yeah, you have a better argument, but if you have trespassers on your property and a dog bites them, if they're trespassers, whether you have a sign or not,
Yeah.
they're still trespassers. You know, they're not
I mean-
invitees. They're not people that are permitted to be on your land.
But Ohio's strict liability.
Utility
So
workers, right.
invitee, licensee, your dog bites, you're liable.
Yeah, just make
Do you
sure
ha-
you have homeowners insurance. Make sure that they're aware that you have two German Shepherds, because German Shepherds are identified as a vicious dog.
And I'm sure your German Shepherds are
Correct.
nice. I'm sure.
Yeah, I
but
know.
however, they are big dogs, large bite capacity.
The one
I'd
is
have a lot
very
of
nice.
homeowners.
The other one is very protective.
Yeah. Do you ever order anything from Amazon when they come and deliver it? I mean, there's many cases where
Pizza?
somebody can come on, come on your land and your dogs could cause them harm. Do you put them in a fence at all? Yes or no?
I do not, because
Okay.
I have the invisible fence. When the
All right.
Amazon truck comes, my dogs are in the house or
In the
I
fe-
need them.
Yeah. The invisible fence, they don't break it, right? So, I mean,
No, they do
all
not.
right. So they can an Amazon guy come to your door without the dogs getting close to them?
If I'm outside, I take it. If I'm not, the dogs are inside.
Well, do you crank
So
them?
yes,
Do you
he
put
can
them?
drop it off on the porch and walk away.
I mean, how would you feel if you're an Amazon driver and you want to deliver a package to your place and you think, okay, there's an invisible fence, but you're going to the front sidewalks to drop it off, and these German Shepherds
Correct.
come
I've
at
seen
you.
dogs break through doors to get at people on
Yeah.
property. Yeah,
It
so
doesn't
you
matter
can
if
say
Well,
that
they
they're in the
wouldn't
house.
do
Sometimes that
but
doesn't
these
matter.
were strangers, and they got out of their van, seeing the dogs in the yard, and it just made me very nervous. You know, they shouldn't have been here anyway.
Well, but people come. I mean, it happens. You never know. The cops could be coming to give you a subpoena.
Process
Somebody could
server.
send you an Amazon thing. I mean, somebody
Jehovah's
could.
Witness.
Somebody
Most
could
people
mistake
are
her house.
reasonable, and they see two German Shepherds, they're not going to get out of their vehicle.
Well,
I
Maybe
had them
not.
call me and say, "Hey, the dogs are out."
I think you got a duty, though, don't you, Mark?
You have a
You
duty.
do. You have a duty. You cannot expose people to harm on their
But
on your
here's
property.
the thing: it's not even a duty scenario. Ohio's strict liability on dog bites. Your dog bites somebody, you're liable.
And then you're going to have to carry additional insurance. You're going to have to carry a specific policy for vicious dogs. And then if your dog is already deemed a vicious dog and bites again, that dog is going to get put down
All right.
by law.
So can I get a trespassing sign if I put it at the end of the drive, letting them know it's private property, no trespassing?
And beware of dogs. Put up
And
one of
beware
them.
of
And
dogs.
beware-
That's a good idea too.
It's not a foolproof
Okay.
scenario, though.
Yeah, that's not
It's
going to
not,
limit
but-
your
Check with your
exposure.
homeowners. That's
Okay.
that's the best thing that you
Any
can do.
idiot that gets out of their vehicle when there's two German Shepherds barking at them is nuts
Right,
anyway.
but sometimes you don't know. Sometimes, well,
I mean, I
just
had a
do what
case
they
with
Would
say.
you take that chance? Would you take that chance?
Me, I'm stronger than 10 grizzly bears. So a guy like me, you know.
Right.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Hell no, I wouldn't take that chance. Would you, Mark?
Yeah, but
I mean, I'd get out and they'd see them German Shepherds. I'd wet myself right then and there.
Yeah,
I walk my son every night. That's our thing.
Mhm.
Big dogs on my street.
yeah.
I don't play around.
You ever notice? I mean, I see a lot of people when they go out for walks, they're carrying a golf club or a stick or something. The reason they're doing that is they're afraid of stray dogs coming
I
in.
keep a bat in the little
Yeah,
wagon
but a
just in
lot of
case.
time those sticks they just make it worse.
No,
They do.
that's why I
But,
carry that old aluminum bat with me.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, people just don't know anymore. I mean, when your dog is running free how many times have we seen some terrible outcomes of young children or adults, their faces get bit, and it's
Yeah.
just horrible.
Every day, Ron. Every day.
You know,
That's
Yeah.
why when I walk my son and my dog's nice. I don't care how big or little it is.
right?
Nope.
I know.
You know, I mean, it's just, is there a lawsuit I can get against? I went to this law firm and this dog just continually licked my face. I couldn't stop it from just, giving me all these kisses at this law firm.
Bandit.
I think it
I
was.
think But here's the problem. David needs to get the dog a trim because the hair's growing over his eyes a little
Mhm.
bit. I don't know. He's like I'm gonna get him for Christmas this year.
What's that?
Like
What?
a little purse carrier for his dog.
Oh,
'Cause he had like a little purse thing on today when he was going out the door. I think I'm
A
gonna get
purse?
one
for the dog.
for
The dog could sit in
so
there.
like the dog can stick his head out.
You should get him a bike with a little basket like the Wicked Witch of the West. Na, 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 na. Put that little dog in there, kind of see him pedaling away to
You know what
court.
I might do? I might crop his face on the ET, like on the bike scene where ET's in a little basket, put Bandon's face and put David's face on
There
there.
you go. That's hysterical.
Man, I shouldn't have given that away on the
Mark.
air, though.
It's like listening to Dr. Evil, isn't it?
$1 million.
You know what
Yes.
David doesn't know? Because
What?
he's so out there. I put a cricket noise in his ceiling like 6 months ago, and I would click it off and it would make a cricket noise or like a beeping noise, and he's so oblivious he wouldn't even notice it.
Wait, there's a
When-
device that
Yeah.
you put in the ceiling and it makes a
When
cricket noise.
when it was just Frank and I, when everybody was gone, it's a little beeper and it was connected with a remote control and it would make a cricket noise. But he's so oblivious in there. I'd set it off when he was in there. He wouldn't even notice. Then the
Well,
battery.
don't say anything more now. You'll find out about it. You know what I mean?
Someone's going to tell him
He already
now.
forgot about it.
You know what you should have done, Melfi? You got one of them ones that sounds like a fart when you hit it. You know what I mean?
Never mind.
That would have been better than a cricket.
Well, hiding his phone's the best thing I do.
Yeah. So he thinks he's going wacko, huh?
Oh.
Well,
Hey, Julie, where's my phone?
Yeah,
Julie,
where's my phone?
Julie, where's my phone?
Call my phone. Wait, call my phone. I can't find my phone. You're on the air with the attorneys. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, real quick. I live in a community in southwestern Ohio, and the community was a village, and things went haywire. Money was spent like drunken sailors, and it was divided up. One side of the community went to one township, and the other side of the community went to another township with the main highway as a division. So the part that we became, they have a levy on the ballot to pay a garbage service that's quite large here in Ohio. I won't mention their name, but it's like 3 2/3 mills on top of your property taxes. Now, is that legal? And I've been told by people that are on committees with this in this community that I was absorbed by that this has been on the ballot for 20 years.
and it hasn't been passed.
It's a tax, yeah, on top of property value. It's a levy, and 3 2/3 mills, and so it keeps getting voted on, and it's like, you know, how can you collect taxes in a planned unit development community within a township and pay a commercial business for garbage pickup?
Well, I mean, if it's like a condo community, there are restrictions and there are
No,
rules.
no. This is about 600 homes that was built in the first 5 years of 2000.
All right. Who does the government plow your street or a private company?
No, the government does.
All right.
Yeah, but
So you're just saying you're
Yeah, a trash pickup is a
Picking up
privatized
trash.
business now.
yeah,
Paying a
waste management.
commercial business the money for trash pickup.
okay. Let me ask you a quick question.
Sure.
What area do you live in? What community? Not,
Claremont County
where's that? In Ohio or PA?
Southwest.
Yeah.
In
I
Ohio.
went to school down
in
there.
Okay.
Ohio.
All right. So in essence, I mean, wouldn't it be a case of do they have city garbage or what have you, or does this planned community have a contract with a private contractor to pick it up? I don't know.
Nobody has city.
Yeah, it's
No.
private contractor, and they're in most of Ohio.
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with it though?
I don't think it's legal.
No,
Well,
you have a
well,
right to do business with whomever. I mean, I'm just speaking from my own practical experiences in my neighborhood. There's at least 2, maybe 3 trash pickup companies that go through my neighborhood on different days. Some people,
But you're not in a plan development, you know, or an HOA or plan
Right.
development
The
like
guy
that.
that
Point
brings me
is,
in
I
it.
tried to do that, Ron, and they said that there's a contract with this large company,
Yeah.
and the company on the other side of the heavily traveled road 2 times a day. They're the blue truck people.
Yeah. Well, you go to your meeting and ask your people that are on your board about.
That's David's
Oh,
line.
I have, and it's like, hey, the people want it, and they keep voting for it, and
Well,
so
there you go.
it's their thing, you know.
That's how it
It's,
works when you live in one of those planned developments like that.
I just have a problem with collecting money through my
Right.
property values,
Well,
paying a commercial business to pick
Well.
up trash.
then you better move, I guess, right? There you go.
There you go.
Just giving you, just putting a suggestion out there. Sometimes, you know what I say, Mark?
what?
You can't always get what you want.
But if
you
you
can try sometimes.
you find you get what you
Mhm.
need.
Who's saying that?
I believe that's the legendary Mick Jagger and Keith Richards.
Oh, the Stones.
Words of wisdom. Yes.
Oh, that is the Stones. I should do better than that.
I just try to always get a music thing in when DeVecchio's on. That's all.
right.
It's a goal. I always look for the right question.
I love
and,
it.
And I think I found it that time. All right, with DeVecchio and Melfi, the legal show brought to you by Beatrice Kopp, and you are on the air. Hello.
Frank, we'd have more vowels.
David Hadros, that way.
What's that, Jim?
If we had Frank, we'd all be vowels tonight.
Where's vowels anyway?
Yeah, I know.
DeVecchio, Melfi, and Cassis.
Yeah, a lot of vowels at the end of those names.
And if we had Tally.
You know,
She's
never-
Italian through marriage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Still has a vowel.
Yeah.
Talia.
Oh,
what is her last name? I mean, it's so hard
Orengia.
to pronounce for me. How are you going to teach me? You know, Mark taught me to remember to call her Tally by, tally it up with the score. Remember, DeVecchio?
Yeah.
How am I ever going to remember, or how do you say it? Orangio
Yeah,
or Orangio?
just think of if you're in Italy and you want an orange and you don't know Italian, you're going to say, give me an apple and an orangia.
Is Orangia correct?
No,
Orange?
that's not how you say
Well, I always
orange
go
in
to the back
Italian.
of the Tyrones at Christmas. I always want the orange ones.
Yeah, it's not orangia. I looked it up.
So you want the Orangio? I'll have an Orangio. Right, Mark?
It's
Did I get it right?
And
That
unless
sounds
you
good.
want a female orange, then it's orangia. Orangio would be a male.
That's right. You just went to the old
I'm just-
country.
That's what I did.
I'm making my pilgrimage in a few years.
Oh, it's so
I'm
worth
just trying to get her name right. That's all I'm trying to do. Tally Orangio, right?
it. Orangia with an A.
Orangia.
Yes.
Ah, Orangia. Okay, I'll get it.
Oh,
Just go ahead.
Orancia. Oh, that is it's
close.
It's close.
Now you're just confusing me, DeVecchio. Come on.
So
You
it
know,
just
if-
it sounds like saying orange in Italian. That's how I would
Orangia.
remember it.
Orangia, right?
Yeah.
And now I will remember it based on what you've just taught me, Mark.
See?
I mean, this is, and Melfi, you'll remember it now. Mark is good at doing that kind of stuff. I mean, it's
He's very good.
Yeah, he has his ways, doesn't he? I mean, some days you got to sit back and say, this DeVecchio's quite a good guy.
Ron,
You got to
we're
admit,
just
Melfi,
educating
so
you on our heritage, on Mark and I's shared heritage.
That's right.
absolutely, it's a heritage I do not share with you. Absolutely,
But you
I-
wish you
I
did.
do.
Yeah.
I do love the food of your ancestors.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal. You know what I mean?
Easy, Ron.
Could you imagine
No,
in this
I-
day and
In
age?
this day and age,
No, I mean I like spaghetti and all that kind of stuff. The Italian food that we have in our community,
That's right.
it's phenomenal.
Best.
It's absolutely phenomenal. We are so lucky to have it all. All right, so this has been the one and only legal show. It's brought to you by Beatrice Kopp on News Radio 570 WQN. Starring tonight, the one and only attorney Mark DeVecchio. And you know what I say, Melfi? In all seriousness, Melfi, I always say this. DeVecchio is such a great attorney when it comes to family law. He's so knowledgeable on it, and he's just one of the best when it comes to that arena. And
He is, and every
you know,
time my
Mark, at
wife's
some
mad at me,
point-
she said, "I already retained Mark." I said, well, "Okay, thanks, Nate."
well, you
Appreciate
better
it."
give in to her, though, right? Do you kiss and make up after that? I certainly hope so,
Yes,
right?
I'm building the nursery tonight, so
Nice.
All right.
pink.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, guys. Legal Show brought to you by Beatrice Cop. Out of time. We appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
All right. Stay tuned. The news is next at 5. Always entertaining. It's the Legal Show brought to you by Beatrice Cop. Tonight's with attorney Mark DeVecchio